Friday the 13th has, without a doubt, become one of the biggest horror franchises of all time. And because of that, Jason Voorhees is probably the most recognized mascot of the entire slasher genre. This man has been successfully killing horny teenagers for the past 45 years, with 11 movies, including a reboot and a crossover with Freddy Krueger under his belt. I remember knowing about Jason and the hockey mask when I was a kid. You'd see the mask in like any Halloween store or at Walmart every time it was Halloween. So I knew of the character, but of course I never saw the movies. I was just too young for that kind of thing. Camp counselors getting freaky and naked and having sex every movie and then getting brutally killed was just too much for my young eyes, but eventually I got older and slowly started watching more and more horror movies. I remember getting Freddy vs. Jason on DVD, and that terrified me. But later on as a teenager, the movie ended up becoming one of my favorite go-to horror movies. But as a kid, I knew both of these characters were big names with their own franchises, even though I'd never seen their individual movies. My mom had all kinds of horror movies, but she didn't have any of the Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I got a lot of my movies from our local video store, and one day I just remember browsing the shelves and seeing the title Friday the 13th. I asked my mom which one it was, and she said it was the first one, and I immediately asked if I could have it. And when she said yes, it was over. When we got home, I popped it in the DVD player and watched it that night.
Friday the 13th.
It wasn't as scary as I'd imagined, but mainly that was because I'd already seen Freddy vs. Jason. A movie made in 1980 unfortunately wasn't going to hold a candle to that, but I loved the mystery that the story was building. I knew that Jason was the killer for the series, but surprisingly, the movie made it a point not to show him. I thought that was interesting, and I assumed that they were saving it for some big reveal towards the end, because this was the first movie. But if you've seen this movie, you know that that wasn't the case at all. The movie revealed the killer, and it wasn't Jason at all. It was, in fact, his mother, Pamela Voorhees. That was a twist for me as a kid that I loved a lot. I was confused at first that Jason wasn't the killer, but I really liked the idea of a mother returning to the camp where her son died to avenge his death. You see, Pamela worked at Camp Crystal Lake in 1956 as a cook, and because of that, her son was able to attend the camp. But due to negligence of the staff, Jason drowned and his body was never recovered.
You let him drown. You never paid any attention. Look what you did to him. Look what you did to him.
In this movie, the camp has been closed for 22 years, but its new owner and a group of counselors attempt to reopen it. But to ensure that the camp remains closed and that no other children will suffer Jason's fate, the psychotic Pamela stalks and kills each of them, enacting her revenge.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her. Don't let her live.
I won't, Jason. I won't.
Miss Voorhees was just so scary in her own way. She isn't a huge man with a machete and a hockey mask, but watching her take out every character one by one made her seem more calculated and terrifying. I especially felt that when she spoke and you knew she had lost her mind a long time ago.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
It made her unpredictable. Of course, though, our main character Alice, who's the last one left, ends up defeating her at the end. And escapes by boat. And this is why I wanted to make this video. After the hell that we've watched our main character endure, we finally get a sense of relief when we see her escape. Everything is calm and quiet. It's a sharp contrast to the nightmare from earlier, and that's when it happens. This scene single-handedly dismantled me as a kid. I jumped up from my seat and my heart was racing a mile a minute. Admittedly, it's a jump scare, which I normally hate, but here it's so effective because the movie's over. We watched our characters die one by one to this mysterious entity until the killer is revealed and then defeated before our eyes. When she gets in the boat, we know it's all over and there's nothing else to conquer. The ending theme here is just so peaceful and hopeful and misdirecting in the best way. We have this feeling of relief as we watch her take in her surroundings knowing she's safe, and then BAM! Jason comes out of the water and seemingly drags her into the lake where he's been this whole time. This might have been the first movie I'd ever seen to pull a rug right out from under me when I finally thought everything was fine. This scene was truly horrific, and I think it traumatized me for a while, but that's what makes it so great to me, and one of the best endings to a horror movie that I've ever seen. I love any movie scene that sticks with me like that because a lot of times it's rare that happens. So that's why I wanted to talk about this scene. It's truly jaw-dropping when you don't know it's coming, and it makes for some great reactions during a movie night. So add it to your list and show your friends. Don't tell them what's happening, just let it ride. And yeah, that's it. See ya.